Hey, it's Dr. McLean with Vital Energy Chiropractic, and today we are going to talk about fat, probably the biggest missing nutrient in the American diet is fat. So we'll talk about why fat's important and how you can incorporate it, how it's going to be beneficial for you. Because sometimes people hear the word fat and they get freaked out. It's like, I don't want to eat fat. And this has been totally debunked, the fact that we should be eating low fat. That's been debunked, but people still believe it and people still promote it in certain health circles. And so logically that makes sense. If I want to be less fat, I eat low fat, I'm going to be less fat. That logically makes sense, but biologically that's not how our body works. So when I first started learning about nutrition, when I got into college and I got really serious about my nutrition, my diet, that was really the fat at the time, eating low fat. And so I believe what I read, I believe what my nutrition teacher was teaching me in college, my second year of college. And I ate, super low fat. I was like, I wouldn't use mayonnaise. If I had a sandwich, I wouldn't use mayonnaise. I was eating like Hamburger Helper and all the stuff that I thought was really low fat and a lot of processed and packaged foods. And I felt miserable. And I didn't realize it at the time. And I wasn't trying to lose weight. I was actually trying to gain weight. I was trying to put on muscle. So then years later, when I started to learn about fat and I put it into my diet, as far as increasing it, healthy fats, it made a huge difference. So fat is a necessary ingredient for our hormones, for our brain to make cholesterol, and we need cholesterol. Fat is essential for us to burn fat. So you want to make sure you're getting fat and you want to make sure it's healthy fat, of course. So if you think about what's called macronutrients, we have protein, carbohydrates, and fats. Now fats has twice the amount of energy for every gram as do carbohydrates and protein. Now I'm not saying we should only eat fat, of course, we need all those things. But I always use an example, if you imagine there's certain woods that you go to build a campfire and those woods will burn really bright and really fast. They're gonna flame up and they're gonna give you a bunch of heat really quickly, but they also burn out very quickly. Now there's other types of wood that are not gonna be quite as big a flame, they're not gonna throw out quite as much heat, and they're gonna burn a little bit lower, but they're gonna burn slower. So you have one log that's gonna last much longer. And when it comes to our metabolism and our injury levels and our hunger, that's the type of things that we want. We want to have these healthy fats in because they're going to keep us satiated longer. It's not about cutting out calories, but it's about having that healthy metabolism and being satiated longer. So we want to bring these healthy fats in. There's a lot of different ways to do that. You can do it through healthy nuts. The other thing I recommend to you is when you're doing these fats, make sure it's natural fats. So things like raw nuts, you don't have processed nuts, grass-fed butters, grass-fed beef, things like olive oil, coconut oil, which has really been portrayed in the media as something really bad. It's awesome. It's really, especially if you get a good form of it, very healthy for you. So you can cook with olive oil or coconut oil. You want to avoid the bad fats or what's called the trans fats. But one of the ways to do this is just start to incorporate it in your nutrition. So anytime I have a salad, I just put a bunch of olive oil in there and typically some balsamic vinegar. I don't use the store-bought the salad dressings, or very rarely. I usually do some type of oil and vinegar, and I love it. It helps keep you fuller longer. You get fuller quicker, so you're typically going to eat less in terms of, at least not overeat. Again, it's not about reducing these calories. So really think about working those into your nutrition. Since I've started to do that, I have felt better. I felt healthier. I lost the fat that I was carrying for a long time. I was able to start putting on muscle that I'd worked so hard for by bringing in these fat levels. So if you have more questions on this, if you need help picking out your healthy fats, incorporating those into your nutrition, please let me know.